What's up, everyone? Welcome. And today we're going to be talking about how to succeed in a trial. I know that this is a question that I get a lot. I get tons of DMs. Literally just got done reading one. So I thought this would be a perfect time to kind of go over this. So, how to succeed in a trial. There's many different ways, right? There's many different factors. There's so much that goes into it, but here in this little mini course, you can say, or little guide, I want to help you guys finally get past those nerves and those limiting beliefs, because I feel like there's a lot of information out there on the internet about trials, right? It's like, okay, go to the trials, play well, be the best on the pitch, and then they'll sign you. But it's like, if only it was so simple, right? So here's where we'll dive in a little bit deeper. So let's start. So first of all, you need to listen. And why? It's a great question. Like I said, there's tons of information out on the internet from certain people that probably shouldn't be giving information, but that's with anything, right? So look, why you should listen to me. I've trained with over 10 professional teams in multiple European countries, American, in USA as well. But yeah, Europe. So had several official trials, and I've signed multiple professional contracts in Europe. Again, I've mentored countless players from all the way from Sunday League to ECNL to MLS Next, and even pro players as well. So we can get into that another time. But yeah, and my own mentor, my very own mentor, is a Premier League legend, former captain of West Ham United, former player of Manchester City. Has played in all four divisions in England: Premier League, Championship, League One, League Two. Also played in MLS. So he's taught me so much over the past few years. And I have other mentors as well, and people in the game that I've spoken to. Former agent of mine, who was the agent of George Weah. Some of you might be too young for that. Timothy Weah's father. As well as Dusan Tadic, who's now in Fenerbahce, I think. But when he was in his prime at Southampton and Ajax, so and many more. So let's get into the real sauce, right? So hopefully you're listening, right? But now that you're listening, let's just pretend you are. Let's just dive right into it. And as you can see, trials suck. I was literally just in Italy last month. Went on 3 pro trials in 1 month. It was exhausting because of the traveling, meeting so many new people, trying to get them to like you, like I say here, as well as the coach, learn his game, etc., etc. So some of you might not have been on trials yet, but how it works is different everywhere, right? There's certain teams and people that are more welcoming and they have things more organized, where they're like, show up at X venue at X time, and let's just say, Dave or Steve will meet you there, and he will get you, into the change room. He'll get you the kit, and all that. And then there's other ones where it's like, hey, show up here, and you just show up and figure it out from there. So this will obviously depend on really how much they want you, and also kind of which country and how organized that specific club is. And look, trials will never be easy, but there's a way to look at them, which I will share with you, that makes them a little bit more simple. And how I do that, and how I've helped players do that, is to trick their mind. I know it sounds kind of funny, but let's get right into it. So number 1, look, you're there for a reason. A lot of the times you can feel like just an absolute imposter. I definitely have. Like I say, I was trialing with FC Kaiserslautern, which is a huge club, has a lot of history in Germany. And this was before I had signed my first professional contract, so I was just kind of a nobody coming in there. They had players from youth German national team, all these absolute ballers, and they're like, "Oh, hey, nice to meet you. Where did you play?" "Oh, I played in America, and I played at university." It's kind of like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" So I had to deal with that a lot. but it is what it is. Um, you have that, being an American, you have that stereotype attached to you. Luckily, there's players like Pulisic and McKinney and these other players that are doing well in Europe. But don't think that's going to go away, anytime soon, to be honest with you. So I just repeated to myself, I'm there for a reason. So the reason how I got there in the first place was a scout who used to coach in the Bundesliga and was then at Kaiserslautern as a scout, literally brought me there. So I do deserve it. I deserve to be there just as much as them, It's harder for me. I'm in a place where I don't speak the language. I don't know anyone. So why make it harder on myself and tell myself, oh, I'm these guys are better than me. They have a better CV than me. They have this, they have that. Like, no, I wasn't going to do that, because what good does that do anybody? No good at all, which I soon learned. So another hack, picture the worst thing happening on that trial. The worst thing, you start with a match, right? Let's say, obviously you do rondos and whatnot, but let's say you go into a match, right, early in the training. You lose, picture, you lose every single ball. You get megged and done up, sent to the absolute shops. And every time you have an open shot, you absolutely sky it. And they're all, in Europe especially, everyone kind of gets on you, right? They're yelling at you, oh, if you guys haven't experienced that and you want to go in Europe, get ready for that, because even that's just how it works. That's the intensity, right? If you dribble everybody and you do amazing, but then you miss the shot, you'll still hear it for sure. But look, picture, I know it sounds, I don't know how it sounds to you, but to some of you it might sound a bit weird, like, why would I think about that? Aren't I supposed to think positively? Yes, obviously, but the stuff is not going to happen, right? It's not going to, unless you're in a movie, right? It's not going to happen. You're not going to lose every single ball. You're not going to get megged. You're not going to get sent to the shops. You're not going to, sky every single shot. You're not going to make 100% mistakes. It's not going to happen. But now, in your mind, since you've already kind of thought about that, now everything shifts. So you can only go more positive. So it's a trick that a sports psychologist has taught me, and I've ran with it ever since. And I recently used it on these trials, which I'll update you guys in a different video about that, in that situation. But that's what helped me kind of get over that fear, and it helped me, have these trials where these coaches and these teams, do want me. Obviously, it's how I play on the field and different things, but these tricks, although they may seem small, they make a huge difference, especially when you compile all of them together. And next, look, think only one step ahead, not 5. And this is a problem that so many of the players that I work with have. Like, think about just the next pass and the next sequence. Don't think about whether, they're going to, let's say the trial's a week. On the first day, stop thinking if they're going to sign you, or because you made one bad pass, they're writing it down and they're counting how many mistakes you make and they're not going to sign you, blah, blah, blah. Chill. Think about the next pass or the next sequence or whatever, and just go with the flow. The more you let your mind wander, the mind, and especially if you're not mentally strong in this aspect, the mind will wander and it will take you wherever it wants to, and a lot of the times it's not where you want it to be. And if you're young, you learn. When I was younger, I didn't know this stuff, but the best teacher is experience, right? But it's also good to hear from someone and people who are experienced in this, who are, teaching you and helping you, which is what I'm doing, obviously. So again, the more you let your mind wander, the harder things become, the further it will take you down places. If you're not mentally strong, the further it will take you down places that you do not want to go, especially on a trial in a high-pressure situation. Control, I know you hear this a lot, control what you can control, your actions. The rest is out of your hands, quite literally. For example, in the pro game, things, you could be a trialist, you could go on trial, you could be the best player there. They could absolutely want to sign you, but hey, they were trying to loan out a player to another team in your position to make room for you. That loan fell through. Or the sports director who had brought you in, or if an agent brought you, the director was obviously speaking with the agent, and they had liked you and they wanted to see you. And guess what? He was fired, or he left, or et cetera, et cetera. And that happens. That's happened to me. That's happened to my friends. That's happened to a lot of people. So it is what it is. So kind of wrapping things up, use these and you will see things become easier. Again, it's not going to happen right away. There's a huge problem, with that young players need to realize. Sorry for that noise, by the way. It's a huge problem that you young players need to realize. You want instant gratification. I speak with a lot of players. I'm like, what are your goals? My goals are to play for Manchester United. My goals are to play for Real Madrid. That's everyone's goals, right? But what's something that you can strive for that's, somewhat reachable at the moment or soon enough, right? Because like I said, a lot of you guys want this instant gratification. I don't know if it's the social media stuff, and I do think it is social media. You see only the highlights of everybody's life and everybody's career. So you're like, oh, this guy went on trial here, he signed here, I'm better than him. Like, why can't I do that? But what you didn't see is that guy's injuries, the surgery, the unpaid salary that he has at the club. You didn't see all the situation behind the scenes where, he had to get a different apartment because the tenant, blah, blah. There's so much stuff that you guys have no idea and that you guys don't see. So you want instant gratification. This game does not work that way. Here to tell you that, because before I was a professional, obviously I didn't think everything was all sunshine and rainbows, but after I turned professional, man, everything was a lot different than I thought. So be consistent, keep the belief, and apply what I'm helping you with. I'm giving you the literal sauce that I use to sign pro contracts. This is the framework, the mental framework, absolutely everything that I use and I continue, to practice to this day. I'll have more little guides for you in mini courses about everything in the football world, everything you guys, you players could ever need. But look, thank you for watching. I appreciate your time, and I know it's not like one of those super edited videos where it's like, oh, I did X, Y, Z to do this, and it's all those edits on the screen. It's like that for a reason, because if you watch those videos, there's no actual attainable, like, tangible information. It's just like, go to the trial, do well, be tough, go shake the coach's hand, do this, do that. Like, that's such surface level information. So if you're able to stay this long in the video and pay attention, you do deserve to do well, and you should apply these, because you deserve to sign, and you deserve to do well. And so like I said, there's going to be a lot more of these, a lot more free-flowing videos like this, and me giving you guys all the possible sauce that I've used to sign pro contracts, that my mentors who've played in the Premier League and been agents for players in the Premier League have given me, my pro friends who play in all leagues in the world, in MLS, Poland, Austria, Serie A, everywhere, Germany, absolutely everywhere. So look, guys, thank you so much for your time, and then subscribe, and I will see you in the next crazy valuable video.